Also, some desperate moves to sell as ever, and reviews coming in as apparently she's selling a candle without a wick.
No. You guys, there's no wick. Wait, producer Kylie, there's no wick, right? Am I crazy? Where's the thing that I light?
As ever, in my very personal opinion, is very much a ripoff. And we see this reflected in Meghan's latest pitiful.
Meghan Markle's as ever product launch has just got mocked by the UK government. Let me explain more.
No.
Oh no.
I literally feel my throat closing. Oh my God. Orange marmalade.
Oh no.
Tastes like crap. I actually feel sick.
Picture spending luxury level money on something that can't even do the one thing it's supposed to do. That's where this whole story begins, and it only gets more chaotic from here. The big problem with these candles is impossible to miss. They don't have a wick, not a small one, not a hidden one, nothing at all. And no, this isn't some strange artistic design or special edition idea. This issue keeps popping up again and again. Customers across the country are opening their deliveries expecting that relaxing, glowing candle moment, only to realize there's nothing to light, just wax sitting there. When some buyers contacted customer service asking for refunds or even basic answers, many claim they were met with silence. No response, no explanation, nothing. And that's silence. It's only making the situation look even more suspicious. Now the twist. This entire mess is connected to Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand. What started as a few confused complaints online is quickly turning into something much bigger. And here's where things start shifting. This isn't just about negative reviews or unhappy customers anymore.
There's nothing to light on the candle. This is like Meghan Markle's career. Failure to launch. Oh my God. Wait, this is not a joke. I ordered Meghan Markle's candle. There's nothing to light. I literally want a refund. Meghan Markle, send me a freaking refund. So I paid. How much did I pay for this?
There's no wick again. No way to light this thing.
Oprah loves the marmalade so much. It's a favorite of hers that came across totally organically.
Will it actually include the packaging? Because I'm hearing rumblings that another candle went out without a wick. Again, you have one job. What's going on with that?
Some people are starting to wonder if larger consequences could come if this pattern keeps showing up. In the beginning, when a handful of buyers posted that their candles arrived without wicks, most people didn't believe it. It sounded way too bizarre to be real. Some thought it had to be a joke. Others figured maybe one candle slipped through production by mistake, but then more people started sharing the same experience. And then even more. Suddenly it didn't look like a random accident anymore. It looked like a repeating problem. This no longer feels like a simple quality control slip. It feels consistent. And that's exactly what's making people raise their eyebrows. There's another detail that really caught attention too. Printed clearly on the bottom of the candle is the instruction. Always trim wick to 1/4 inch. That single line says everything. These candles were obviously meant to include a wick. They weren't designed as decorative wax blocks or something meant for a wax warmer. The whole idea was simple. Light the wick and enjoy the flame. Except there's no wick to light. Some customers say their candle had a narrow tunnel going down the center, almost like a wick was supposed to be placed there, but never was.
Meghan Markle always says she's known as the smart one and that her whole identity is wrapped up in being smart. We're still waiting to see that. Where's that smart identity? Like, was it smart to leave the royal family to go sell jams, jellies, dog biscuits, and wickless candles? Like, you could be royalty right now.
Could be Meghan Markle involved with some of these things that have been dumped on.
This candle, right? This as ever scented candle. And we're in the United Kingdom, so it didn't arrive until after to the United Kingdom, and I saw this and I thought, enjoy. Well, of course I'm not going to enjoy. This is terrible, Alan. And I wasn't even going to mention it because it's like I don't want people to think that I'm putting money into her pockets and all of that. But of course I was intrigued to look at the candle and look at the box, and I known full well what happened with Link Lauren, my friend Link, when he received his as ever order. Of course, I assumed I'd sorted it out. So you are not going to believe what happened when I opened the box. When I got back, there's no wick again. No way to light this thing. Seriously, look.
Just a hollow path straight through the wax. Others say theirs showed up completely solid and no hole, no wick. Just a dense chunk of wax inside a fancy jar. And keep in mind, these aren't cheap candles you grab from a discount shelf. They're sold as luxury products. Premium, high-end. The type of item that's supposed to make your space feel elevated and special. That's exactly why people are reacting so strongly. When something is marketed as exclusive, expectations automatically rise. And then there's the price, which makes the whole thing even harder to ignore. Each candle is selling for $64. $64. Sure, luxury candles are definitely a real market. Nobody is arguing that. But when someone pays $64 for one candle, they expect serious quality. They expect careful craftsmanship. They expect the product to actually work. What they don't expect is something that can't even be used.
Talk to me about your candle.
Oh, yes. I really wanted to bring this to the people. So I have a listener who has a family member that was working at Netflix for many, many years and just left. And I was gifted this gorgeous, as ever. There's no wick. Is that normal?
Are you serious?
Is that the thing?
There's
no wick.
I've had 2 people tell me that there was no wick when they ordered a candle.
There's literally no wick.
Are you kidding?
Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, purchased a candle from a person he dislikes and received a candle without a wick in it.
At that price level, buyers believe they're paying for attention to detail, not confusion. And when something as basic as functionality is missing, that's when frustration turns into backlash. Quickly, let's be real for a moment. For $64, someone could walk into places like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, or even pick up a Yankee Candle and walk out with several candles that actually smell great and burn the way they're supposed to. That's exactly why people are doing a double take at this whole situation. Customers didn't just purchase a candle. They bought into Meghan Markle's brand image. They trusted the polished advertising, the elegant look, and the promise of something refined and high-end. But when those packages finally showed up, many buyers say they were left staring at a jar filled with wax, wondering how something like this even passed quality checks. In the end, some customers basically received a $64 decoration that doesn't even function. And strangely enough, the story gets even more puzzling. The scent itself is marketed as California poppy mixed with other soft fragrance notes. Sounds relaxing and luxurious, right? Well, here's where people started raising questions. Many pointed out that California poppies barely have a noticeable scent in real life. Some California residents even joined the conversation, explaining that while the flower is beautiful, its fragrance is extremely light or almost non-existent. So even if the candle actually had a wick, some buyers are wondering what scent they would really be smelling.
You had one job. Put the wick in the candle. We're not selling candles at Walmart. This is a luxury lifestyle brand.
Ordered the candle came without a wick. This is not even a stunt. I literally opened it on camera. Her candle that was $64 was not lightable, okay? It was a metaphor for her career. Nothing was igniting, nothing was lighting, there was nothing on the inside. So Meghan Markle, it's actually quite pathetic to see someone fall from grace so hard.
Right.
Let this be a cautionary tale to so many of the women out there who maybe even look up to Meghan Markle, though I don't know how you would have stumbled. $64. I paid $64 for a candle you can't light. And you know how God has a sense of humor? I was running around the house this morning looking for matches or looking for a lighter. So I literally finally found matches. Okay, we're a few minutes late filming the show. Looks like I didn't even need a match because there's nothing to light the candle. Light a candle. Okay, let me smell it. Smells like a whorehouse in Nevada. It smells no different than a Yankee candle you could get at CVS.
That detail alone caught people's attention, but The situation didn't stop at mild disappointment. It started feeling more serious. Once customers realized their candles were defective, they did what anyone normally would. They contacted customer service. They submitted forms through the official website. They followed the instructions step by step. They asked for replacements or refunds, everything done properly. And what happened next? According to several buyers, not much. Some customers say they received automated replies that didn't directly address the problem. Others claim they never received a response at all. Refund requests? Some say they were denied or simply ignored. And here's the part that really frustrated buyers. The website reportedly operates under a strict no refund policy. So if someone spends $64 on a candle and it arrives missing the one feature that makes it usable, they might be stuck with it. No replacement, no refund, just silence. Now think about that for a second. When a normal business runs into a production problem affecting multiple customers, the usual response is pretty straightforward. Acknowledge the issue, offer refunds, send replacements, apologize. That's basic customer care. That's how companies protect their reputation, but instead, some buyers say they're left with expensive jars of wax and no clear solution. One customer even described their entire attempt to fix the issue.
Not my favorite scent. It's a very feminine scent. I will tell you, it is actually very, very feminine. It's supposed to be water, lotus, sandalwood, and California poppy. It does probably smell like Meghan Markle's bathroom at her home in Montecito, I will tell you that. But it's a no for me. I will say this. If I'm paying $64 for a candle, there better be a wick, okay? There better be something that I can actually light. I actually think this is a joke. This has to be a prank, you guys. The candle, I will say, it's weighty. It's heavy. It doesn't feel cheap. I'll give her credit for that. It doesn't feel cheap. The problem is you can't light it, you bird brain bitch. There's nothing in here. So someone at quality control needed to control the quality because there's nothing to light.
They went through the website, selected the option saying the item arrived damaged, explained that the candle had no wick, and received a reply asking for their order number. After that, according to them, the conversation stopped completely. For a brand presenting itself as luxury, customer service isn't optional. It's expected. People assume the support will match the high price tag. Ignoring complaints doesn't just frustrate buyers, it quickly shapes public opinion. And once trust starts slipping, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. Now here's another detail that adds an unexpected twist. A report recently surfaced about a Netflix employee who was leaving the company. And what they reportedly received during their departure has sparked a lot of discussion. Once that detail comes into the picture, it raises even more questions about where these products really fit in the bigger story. And that's where things take another surprising turn. A former Netflix employee reportedly shared an unusual story about their exit from the company. According to them, when they were leaving, they were given what they described as a trash bag filled with leftover promotional items. Not a carefully prepared farewell gift, not a polished thank you package, just random company swag and extra merchandise that needed to be cleared out. And inside that bag, products from Meghan Markle's brand, including one of the candles. Pause on that for a moment. Netflix, a major partner once connected to Meghan Markle, allegedly handled these items like leftover office clutter, not luxury merchandise, not premium collaborations, just extra products that needed to move off the shelf. And honestly, that detail says a lot more than any glossy marketing campaign ever could. But here's the detail that really caught people's attention. The candle that reportedly came from that Netflix swag bag actually had a wick. So working versions of the candle existed, yet customers around the country were reporting candles arriving without wicks at all. That contrast raised some serious questions. From the outside, it appeared Netflix didn't treat the merchandise like a high-end partnership product. It wasn't displayed or presented like something exclusive. Instead, it was bundled together with leftover items during a clean-out. And that's the kind of small detail people notice quickly. All of this reportedly happened after Netflix moved forward without continuing love. Meghan, following what many reports described as underwhelming viewing numbers.
Because you told me that over text, we're going to try this. And I was like, what?
You're trying Meghan's as if I wonder if she actually, do you think she actually put the sticker on? You think she put poison in this because she knew it was mine?
Her kids help.
Do you think she saw Andy and was like, oh crap, this is Popcorn Planet. I
I'm nervous.
Yeah, no, did she poison it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, look at all this wrapped stuff, guys. All right, well,
That's fancy.
She took the strawberry jam already out so she could do the test, but this is how it comes. I'm doing a fair unboxing. We're going to be fair, Megan. This is the raspberry spread. Okay, look at that. And then we got over here, as you're seeing, I'm opening. We got the kind of annoying, but yeah, there we go. This is the
protection.
This is the apricot spread or the orange marmalade, like Paddington likes. And then I got a special. You ready for this special?
Yeah.
You know what I got?
Some reports claimed the show ranked low on the charts, even appearing behind older reruns and children's programs that had far less promotion. Whether the numbers were exactly as dramatic as some reports suggest or not, one thing seemed clear. Netflix appeared ready to move on quickly, and when a major streaming platform quietly clears out merchandise connected to a project, people naturally start reading between the lines. Now here's where another layer of the story appears. Meghan Markle has previously described herself as someone who pays extremely close attention to details. She has spoken about being very involved in the products released under her brand. At one point, she even referred to having a freaky eye for detail. Those are strong claims. So how are candles being shipped without wicks? Not just once or twice, but repeatedly, according to customer reports. That's where the tension sits. Either she isn't as involved in product oversight as suggested, which would make those hands-on brand claims seem overstated, or she is involved and something major slipped through unnoticed. And neither possibility looks particularly great from a public perception point of view. After all, we're not talking about a complicated piece of technology. It's a candle, a product that has existed for thousands of years. The formula is simple: wax, fragrance, container, and wick. 4 basic elements. That's it. Yet customers claim one of those essentials keeps missing. That leaves 2 likely possibilities. Either there's a serious manufacturing problem that wasn't caught before shipping, pointing to major quality control issues, or the issue was known and still allowed to continue, hoping complaints would remain limited. To be fair, there hasn't been any official statement confirming exactly what happened behind the scenes. But when multiple customers report the same defect and say their refund request didn't go anywhere, it starts forming a pattern that people simply can't ignore. So what could happen next? When a company sells products at premium prices and buyers claim those products are defective and refunds aren't easily available, the situation can grow into something much bigger. Complaints can escalate, consumer protection groups can step in, public trust can drop quickly, and for a lifestyle brand built around image, detail, and luxury, that kind of backlash isn't small. It sticks around.
It's going to be exciting, and there's the candle. Okay, so she came out with a candle. It's a phenomenon that happened, I want to say like 25 years. That's crazy. But I'm being honest, guys. There was this explosion of candles. Every woman, single woman, and kids in high school saved up their pennies for candles. Bought expensive candles. Those 15-year-olds that Meghan is going towards and saving up their pennies. All those kids bought candles. We all bought candles. We all did. And we had to have them in our home. Had to have candles. If they weren't in our home, we just lost our minds. It had to be in our bedroom. And there was constant candles in and out. And then you'd give candles as gifts. And then you'd get a candle. I mean, it was just out, like, seriously, there was a candle book.
I think this is a metaphor. This is a metaphor because everything Meghan tries to do and she tries to ignite, it flops. Okay, everything she touches turns to crap. She goes to the Dodgers game, look what happened. So nonetheless, everything Meghan Markle does gets markled. I feel like I just got markled. You guys, I've officially been markled because there's no wick in the candle. So that's my review, okay? Meghan's brand, as ever, it's a no for me. It's an absolute no.
Now the conversation is shifting because this situation is starting to look like more than just internet chatter. First, there's the Federal Trade Commission, also known as the FTC. This is the agency that looks into complaints involving unfair or misleading business practices. If a product is promoted as a functional candle, but customers say it arrives without the ability to function, that could raise questions under their oversight, and if enough consumers file complaints, an investigation suddenly doesn't sound so unrealistic. Another possibility people are discussing is a class action lawsuit. When a large group of customers claims they experience the same issue with the same company, they can sometimes come together to pursue legal action collectively. That's exactly what class action cases are designed for. If the number of complaints keeps growing, some legal observers believe that path could eventually be explored. Then there's the Better Business Bureau, or BBB. While the BBB doesn't carry legal authority, its ratings still matter a lot to businesses. If a company receives a wave of complaints, its public rating can drop quickly. And once that information is out there, it tends to stay visible. Future customers see it. Media outlets notice it. Even investors pay attention. Reputation plays a huge role. But the bigger picture here goes beyond a defective candle. It's really about how a brand responds when problems appear. It's about accountability. It's about how customers feel when something goes wrong with a product they purchased. When people pay premium prices, they expect premium service in return. That means transparency. That means fast solutions. That means taking responsibility if an issue happens. Instead, many buyers say they experience something very different. Silence, automated replies, strict policies, and little flexibility. And people are definitely noticing.
That these products, and by the way, this candle, $64 from the Was Never website, $77.94 because we ordered it from eBay, is a dud. It's a cheap mess that you cannot light. And so Alan emailed eBay communication and he wrote, "Hello, just received the candle today. Were you aware that the candle itself has no wick?" And eBay replies saying, "Hello, my apologies. When I checked it prior to shipping, I saw a wick. You can return the item, and as soon as I receive the return, I will issue a refund." Well, there wasn't a wick. There was no goddamn wick. We're not making this up. You can't remove a wick.
The conversation online has started shifting. It's no longer only about missing wicks. It's about trust. Once customers begin wondering whether a brand truly stands behind its products, that's when reputational damage can spread quickly. And in today's digital world, news travels instantly. Luxury branding depends heavily on perception. It's about the entire experience, from the moment someone clicks buy to the moment they light the candle in their home. If that experience breaks down, from receiving a defective product to struggling with customer service, the whole image begins to crack. And there's one more factor that makes everything more intense: price. When a product is positioned at the high end of the market, the room for mistakes becomes much smaller. Customers paying luxury prices expect near-perfect execution. A small issue with a budget product might be overlooked, but at $64 per candle, that same mistake suddenly feels huge. This situation also raises some larger operational questions. Who is actually overseeing production? Who checks the quality before products are shipped out? Who signs off on orders leaving the warehouse? And who handles customer support when something goes wrong? Those aren't small details. They're the foundation of any business that sells directly to consumers. If those systems aren't solid, even the most polished branding can't hide the problems for long. And let's be honest, this brand isn't operating quietly behind the scenes. It's linked to Meghan Markle, a globally recognized public figure. That kind of visibility means every mistake, every complaint, and every unanswered message carries extra attention. When you're that visible, scrutiny comes with the territory.
Meghan Markle has somewhere around 4 million Instagram followers. But according to Netflix's latest data, barely half of them bothered to watch her new show. Even less if you include the critics and the journalists. In fact, her high-budget Pretend Martha Stewart lifestyle series, With Love Meghan, tanked so hard it was outperformed by a 12-year-old rerun of Downton Abbey. How does that even happen? How does a global icon like the Meg likes to think of herself end up behind Franklin and Bash in the ratings? I don't even know what that is. Let's take a look at these brutal numbers from the Netflix report that was just released, which proves that the Meg's star power has finally hit a wall. Reality, that is. That's the wall. The wall is reality. That's what's happening. From a 62% audience collapse and a 17% Rotten Tomatoes score.
So the real question becomes, can the brand regain public trust? Or is this just the start of a larger unraveling? When a business is built around a famous name, every small issue gets magnified. Complaints feel louder, reactions move faster. And when that name is Meghan Markle, the spotlight arrives instantly. Her reputation isn't just connected to the brand. In many ways, it's part of the product itself. If trust begins to weaken, sales often follow the same path. This pattern has played out before with other high-profile brands. A product launches with massive hype, glossy promotions, and headlines everywhere. At first, excitement carries the brand forward, but once that early buzz fades away, the real test begins: the product itself. If the product doesn't hold up, no amount of marketing can fully smooth things over. And the reality is, customers aren't asking for anything unreasonable here. They're not demanding luxury extras or special treatment. They're asking for candles that actually work. They're asking for refunds when products reportedly arrive defective. They're asking for their concerns to be acknowledged. That's the basic expectation. Instead, many buyers say they've experienced silence, and silence can create bigger problems. Frustration rarely stays quiet. It turns into formal complaints. It can lead to payment disputes with banks. In some cases, it may even lead to legal action. Once customers begin filing chargebacks with their credit card companies, the situation can escalate quickly. And when that happens repeatedly, the financial consequences can start stacking up fast.
You guys, this is not a joke. I'm testing Meghan Markle's new candle on my show. There's literally no wick. I just got Markle. There's literally nothing to light. Okay, there's nothing to light on here. I feel like Meghan Markle saw my name and maybe took it out. Quality control. Really needed to check the quality because it's out of control.
So it's a piece of tat. No wonder she has hundreds and thousands of these things on the shelf. Pete Diner, Happy New Year, by the way. And as I say, look, Alan just ordered this for me as a joke. Okay, it was just a joke. Honestly, I promise you, I had no idea about it. I wasn't going to talk about it on the show. It was a joke. But given all of the headlines about as ever, and given the fact that it's not
what makes this situation stand out is that it might have been addressed earlier with relatively simple steps: a product recall, a public explanation, an updated refund policy, even a transparent apology could have helped calm the situation. Any of those actions might have slowed the backlash, but when people believe an issue is being ignored, the story keeps growing. What began as a product defect can quickly evolve into a much larger credibility problem. And credibility is one of the hardest things for any brand to rebuild. As more customers share their experiences, pressure continues to grow. Regulators often pay attention when patterns appear. Attorneys notice when complaints increase. And consumers always watch how a company responds when problems pile up. This story doesn't feel finished yet. It may simply be entering its next chapter. Beyond federal oversight, there are also state-level consumer protection laws. Many states have strict rules around defective products and refund policies. Depending on where the company operates and where customers live, those laws could create challenges across multiple jurisdictions. And that's not a small issue, that's serious. Another factor people are talking about is chargebacks. When customers go straight to their credit card company to dispute a purchase, the business doesn't just lose that sale. In many cases, the merchant also gets hit with extra processing fees. And if too many disputes start stacking up, payment processors can step in.
Proves this is just a shoddy operation. It's Wickless. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think you're right. It is a shoddy operation. There's no quality control, clearly. I mean, how can this happen again? Maybe the first time you overlook it as, okay, it was just that one time that got by quality control. But to happen again, I think this shows that it's probably more than the 2 times that we've seen it with people who have bought this. So to me, it just shows you that Meghan Markle does not really have a clear way of running a business to ensure that these things don't happen, because she is a public person. People are talking about her products. They're doing videos. How can she afford to allow something like this to happen and to maintain
In more serious situations, a company can even lose the ability to process online payments altogether. For a brand that sells directly to consumers online, that kind of problem lands in very serious territory. Now here's the twist that surprised many observers. Even with all of this unfolding, reports suggest Meghan Markle may still be planning to expand the As Ever brand into the United Kingdom. Yes, the same brand currently facing criticism over candle complaints. The same brand some buyers say hasn't fully addressed refund concerns. The same brand that reportedly had merchandise handed out as leftover items during a Netflix employee departure. And yet, according to reports, expansion plans are still moving forward. Sources claim Meghan believes there is strong potential in the UK market, especially for products like jam and other lifestyle goods connected to the brand. That's certainly an ambitious move, but expanding during a controversy almost always invites extra attention. Entering a new market means dealing with new consumers, new regulations, and new levels of oversight. If existing issues aren't fully resolved first, critics tend to watch those moves very closely. At the end of the day, brands run on trust. Luxury brands especially depend on it. Once that trust begins to wobble, every decision the company makes gets analyzed much more closely. And right now, many people are paying attention to what happens next. Reports say Meghan Markle believes that once British customers experience her products, they'll respond positively and embrace the brand. That's the expectation being discussed. However, some critics feel that outlook may be overly optimistic. Public opinion in the UK has often been described as more skeptical compared to the United States. And even in the US, reactions toward the brand have been mixed. That matters a lot. When entering a new market, public perception is not a minor detail. It can shape the entire outcome.
They never arrive without a goddamn wick, and certainly you can't just tip it upside down. It's a sticky, revolting mess of a candle. Honestly, this is a joke.
What does it smell like? Can you describe it?
Honestly, cheap and not strong either. Like, I like a strong scent, and it's not strong, and it's very soapy. I mean, this is meant to be White Lotus, Sandalwood, Californian Poppy. Our scent at home, elegant and earthy. Honestly, it's not at all. It smells like soap. Really does. And as I say, I'm a candle guy. And what's so fascinating is that this business has imploded. And it's imploded to the point where she is having to keep on pumping out her advertising. I even got a new one overnight. Well, again,
there's also the legal environment to consider. The United Kingdom has stronger consumer protection rules in several areas compared to the US. Refund policies are typically clearer, and enforcement actions can sometimes move faster. If products were ever considered defective while refunds were denied, the consequences there could escalate quickly. That's simply part of how the regulatory system works. And then there's competition. The UK market already includes well-established lifestyle brands with loyal customer bases and long-standing reputations. One example is Highgrove, the product line connected to King Charles, which is widely known and associated with heritage and tradition. Competing in that kind of space takes more than a recognizable name. It requires consistency, strong quality control, and long-term trust with customers. Right now, some critics argue that expanding while product complaints remain unresolved could be a risky move. Entering a new market doesn't erase earlier concerns. In many cases, it actually shines a brighter spotlight on them. So the big question remains, where does this leave As Ever moving forward? The candlewick controversy doesn't seem to be happening on its own. It's part of a much bigger conversation surrounding the brand. There have been reports of products appearing to sell out quickly, only for some customers to later say their orders were canceled. Others have pointed to ongoing complaints about product quality across different items. Then there's the Netflix partnership, which many believed would boost the brand's visibility. Yet reports suggest that relationship ended sooner than expected. One issue by itself might not mean much. But when several concerns appear at the same time, people start noticing a pattern. And patterns are exactly what regulators, attorneys, and consumers tend to watch closely. At a certain point, repeated concerns stop looking like random mistakes. They begin shaping how the public views a brand. And reputation is everything for a luxury label. When a company charges $64 for a candle that customers say doesn't function properly, while refund complaints circulate, it stops being a small public relations issue. It becomes a serious credibility test. To be fair, not every internal detail is public. Brands can adjust. Problems can be fixed. Systems can improve. But right now, there seem to be more questions than answers. So the real question is simple. Can as ever rebuild trust and steady the brand moving forward? Could regulators eventually step in? Or will this whole controversy fade once changes are made? And most importantly, based on everything that's been reported so far, would you personally feel comfortable spending your money on this brand? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I really want to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, share it with someone who follows celebrity business drama, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. And when you see the next video pop up on your screen, click on it for even more celebrity drama and behind-the-scenes stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.